Okay, I've been saying about talking about doing a live feed for Flutterflow for folks that are migrating from Adalo and trying to figure out how Flutterflow works. Um, I thought about it some more, realized that a live stream would be kind of difficult given the fact that a lot of people are spread out around the world. Um, and so getting the time frame right would be challenging. So I figured I'd just kind of do some recordings here and hopefully help some folks out that are trying to figure out how this works. So aside from creating your Flutterflow account, the other thing that you need to create is a Firebase account. Go to firebase.com or firebase.google.com, whatever the address is, and create your account. You can create it as a free account under the Spark plan, which will give you plenty of read, write, create, delete actions per month to test with, and it'll give you plenty of storage and everything else. And then whenever you're ready to go live, you can upgrade to a paid plan. I can't remember their Blaze. I think it's the Blaze plan is their paid plan, and it's a pay as you go sort of thing. So in this video, the first thing I'm gonna walk you through is just setting up a Firestore, which is where your data will be stored in Firebase, similar to the collections on Adalo. But obviously there's some more manual input that you have to do on the back end to make it work. But it's not difficult. So again, once you have a Firebase account set up, you'll go to the on your dashboard in Firebase, you'll click create a new project, and this will be the screen that pops up. So you want to give your project a name first of all. So I'm just gonna do something. Just do test project 01 for this. And now this is just if you want to have analytics through Google on here. I usually keep that on because it's free. So and then you select your default account. Okay, so now I'm setting up a new project, and within that project, that's where you can create your Firestore, your storage, your authentication services, whatever you want to use within Firebase. That's what you'll do once you have the project created. Okay, so that was real quick setting that up. All right, so here's my project. Over here in the left-hand side is where you can select the various things that you want to use with this project. So there's a bunch of stuff. Obviously, Firebase has quite a bit. But for the sake of what we're trying to do here, we're just going to use 3. From the build section, we're going to use authentication, Firestore, and storage. So Firestore would be like your collections, like an Adalo, where you have basically text data stored, so like usernames and list data, things like that. Storage would be where you're storing your photos, videos, things of that nature. And then authentication, I think, is pretty self-explanatory, but you need this so that people can create accounts on your app and log in using email, password, and then of course social media, Google, Facebook, things like that. So first thing I'm going to set up is authentication. So once I click on that, it's going to open up here. Go ahead and click Get Started. From here, you can choose what kind of authentication you want to use. So you see all the different options that you have. Phone, anonymous, all these things. Anonymous would be like if you have a guest mode on your app, you can use anonymous. I'm just going to do email and password for now. And then I'm going to enable it. I'm not going to worry about passwordless sign in right now. I'm going to save. And now people can create accounts using email, password, whenever I get it connected into my app build. I'm going to go back to build. I'm going to set up my Firestore. I'm going to create my database. You can do in test mode or production, whichever you prefer. I usually just start in production and then adjust the permissions as I go. Choose your location that's closest to you. As you can see, there's quite a few. Central would be the best for my location in the US. So now it's provisioning that Cloud Firestore. It takes just a minute or two for that to happen. And just let it run its course. Okay, so now my Firestore is set up. So for the time being, we're just going to leave this alone until we get everything connected on Flutterflow's side. And then lastly, I'm going to set up storage, so I have a place to store my photos and videos and things like that. And all you do is just go to build, click on storage, and it automatically creates it for you, and then it's here. You can set up folders if you want to. You can upload files directly here. You can add a bucket, things like that. So there's a lot of stuff you can do. You can set your rules. You can view your usage. Obviously, there's none because I just created it. And you can do the same thing over here on Firestore. You can see your reads, writes, deletes. You can see how many are being used per day, things like that. So it's a very useful information. So that's how you get your basic Firebase configuration set up. And again, this is the best place to start. After you create your Flutterflow account, after you create your Firebase account, I'd go ahead and create your Firestore authentication and storage, and then you can create your first Flutterflow application to start building. So in the next video, I will show you what that looks like on the other side.